We're back on the morning drive, and back to the hotline we go. Bring in the driver of the number 38 Chevrolet for Turner Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Jason Leffler's in the house. Good morning, Jason.
Morning. What's happening?
What's going on, Jace?
How's it going?
We're doing well. We're getting ready for you guys to get up here.
We're not. Hang on a second. We're not.
Well, Bagman and I are fighting a little bit.
We're fighting this morning.
No, man. What are you guys fighting about?
Well, we're talking about that boys have at it stuff and all these short wicks on the racetrack, and you tap somebody, and next thing you know, you're backwards into the safety barrier. What's going on here these days?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that happens a lot at short track racing. But it is what it is. So you just deal with it and move on.
Is there a wave of tension right now in the sport? Not only just in Cup and Nationwide. We've seen our share in contact down there. Lord knows. What is going on these days that these drivers, it doesn't take much to get something stirred up. It doesn't even have to be on a short track. It can be on a road course, even a super speedway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the lack of respect for car owners' equipment, and there's no consequences for crashing. It used to hurt. You used to hurt yourself. Could possibly get injured, but with soft walls and everything they have now, especially on a short track, there's just no consequences. It's like I don't know. It's like a demolition derby sometimes.
Well, it looked that way over the weekend at Richmond. Are we soon reaching the point where we need to get this reined in? I mean, is this becoming a problem with this lack of respect and stuff?
Well, I mean, I think the drivers got to police themselves. It's one thing if you make a mistake, but to intentionally wreck somebody. I mean, if you're gonna wreck somewhere fast, but it's too easy to wreck them somewhere slow. Because it's just like I said, it's like a demolition derby or an enduro race or something. But yeah, I mean, the drivers need to police it. We got to have more respect for the car owners, for their equipment. Back in the day, I mean, your race car was your pride and joy. Took care of that thing. Now we all have dozens of them. We wreck one, we go back and get another one. So I think that's part of it. But it's hard. It's not one swift action's not going to cure it all. And another thing is, it's getting that time of the year. Everybody's just. I think it's been a long summer for a lot of people and a lot of pressure, and then some of it's just hard racing. So, it's just accumulation of a lot of different things.
You had a lot of different things going on Friday night in Richmond, Jason. Fill us in what happened at that event on Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, Great Clips Chevy was really good. We ran in the top 10 the first 70, 80 laps there and just got dumped on the restart. Harvick dumped me. I think he said it, but he didn't tell me, but he said in the media it was an accident. If it was an accident, that's fine. That happens. But, I don't know if it was an accident or not. So, yeah, I mean, it's just part of it. I mean, the tough thing about it is we're running for our own championship, our own spots in the championship, and when you get taken out by somebody that's racing there for recreational reasons, it pisses you off a little bit. But that's the way it is. It's the way everything's structured. So, you just move on to it, and looking forward to Chicago this weekend.
How long did it take you to come to that it is what it is mentality and just move on from it?
Well, I mean, you just do it. I mean, you get mad at the time, and then you're on to the next week, I mean, we've all raced like that before we ever even got to this level in NASCAR. So, it's just you got to forget about last week and on to the next one. You keep carrying it on. It's not going to do you any good.
Are we getting to the point where we need to back away from boys have at it, and there need to be some consequences established from some of this behavior? For some of this behavior?
I don't know what the consequences could be. You don't really want NASCAR getting involved in it because then they make judgment calls that are sometimes, maybe not the right call. So it's hard. I mean, I think all the drivers just need to come up with I think all the drivers, they need to police themselves. We got to have more respect for everybody in it. And I'm not pointing to other drivers. I point to myself too. I've had my fair share of beating and banging and taking advantage of guys on the late in the race. But it's just the way the sport is right now. So whether it's good or bad, it is what it is. So you just deal with it.
the impact, though, you've used respect a lot here in our segment. I think it's interesting. And what about sportsmanship? Is that missing at this point, Jason, in the last couple of years?
Well, yeah, I guess to a point, but it all boils down to consequences. What's your consequence? You can't. I guess you can hurt somebody financially, or take points away, or kick them out of the race, but that really doesn't help. It used to be, even when I started, your consequences was you're going to hit the wall, and that was going to hurt. And and now it's like you just crash and you go on and you fix your car and you crash the guy back and you get crashed, you crash him back, and you're just tearing equipment up over and over again. So.
All right, well, hopefully there won't be any torn-up equipment on Saturday at Chicagoland Speedway. Unique this year for the Nationwide Series. You guys already raced here once back in June. Now you make a return trip. What'd you learn in June that's going to help you Saturday?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, especially it's an afternoon race, and Chicago's a little slick there when we raced there last time. That was night, so I expect it to be really slick during the day with the sun out. And it's a great racetrack. It's weathered in really nicely. There's 3 grooves of racing. You can run right on the fence or right on the yellow line, and I look forward to going up there. There's always a big group of great Midwest racing fans up there, and I'm looking forward to having a good day in the Great Clip Chevy.
What kind of feel do you like on those fast mile-and-a-half racetracks like Chicagoland? What do you expect out of the chassis setup?
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to have grip, obviously, but to be fast, your car is going to slide a little bit, but you can't slide too much, and you want to have grip, but yet have the thing turn. So, I mean, it's kind of you want the best of both worlds, and some people have it. And some days you get it with your own car. Some days we get the Great Clip Chevy hooked up, and some days you spend a lot of it trying to get there. So, yeah, you want a lot of grip, but yet not too tight or not too loose.
Well, and also, I'll remember, as you do as well, in June at Chicagoland Speedway, it turned out to be a fuel mileage race, so you got to keep that in the back of your mind, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. And we've had a lot of fuel mileage races lately, so you never know. That place might lend itself to that.
When you heading up this way?
We'll be up there Thursday night. Be on the track. I think 11:30 Friday morning. Couple practices on Friday, and qualify early Saturday morning, and race Saturday afternoon. So it should be a good weekend of racing.
Well, we wish you the best. Trying to get that victory, driving to Gatorade Victory Lane for the Dollar General 300, a race that you can hear on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90, Motor Racing Network with the call and in your ears beginning at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on your home for NASCAR. Safe travels to you, Jason. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
See you this weekend, Jason. Thank you.
Jason Leffler joining us on the hotline. Some pretty interesting insight